When we're looking at net present value, what is important to understand is $1 today is different from $1 tomorrow. Because with the dollar today, you can even put it into a simple bank account, a simple interest account, and earn interest at the end of 1 year. So money has value, and that is what is called the time value of money. That if you have $1 today or $1 tomorrow, it has two different values. So when you're evaluating a proposal, you must look at the cash flows in relationship to today's dollars. So if you have cash flows from a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, in order to do justification to the time value of money, you have to evaluate all of this money in terms of one denomination, in terms of one standard. So the best way when you're evaluating it is to work out the present value of future cash flows. Now, with that in mind, let us look at our scenario. Our scenario, again, similar to when we were evaluating the payback method. We have cash flow 1,000 at the end of year 1, 3,000 at the end of year 2, 4,000 at the end of year 3, 5,000 at the end of year 4. Suppose we say that we want to evaluate this proposal based on a 10% interest rate. Then what we need to do is we have to work out what is called a discount factor, which will bring the value of this money into today's dollars. So these are future values. This is the money you will get 4 years from now or 3 years from now. You want to put it into today's dollars. In order to do that, you have to work out what is called a discount factor. Now, the discount factor, if you look at the back of your exam paper, the first appendix, you will see a table. Now, look for 10% across the top. Now, n equals 1, n equals 2, n equals 3, n equals 4 represent years. So look in your table carefully. If the question is evaluating the proposal based on 10%, look and see what your discount factor would be for year 1 based on 10%. If you look at your table at n equals 1, under 10%, you will see 0.9091. When you look at n equals 2, at 10%, you will get this value here. When you look at n equals 3, n equals 4. What we need to do is work out in today's dollars the value of each one of these cash flows. So in this particular case here, we work out the cash flow here. Now the discount rate is 0.9091. Our present value, PV, represents present value. Present value equals discount factor multiplied by FV, which means future value. PV means present value. And FV means future value. These are all future values. This is the value at the end of year 4, at the end of year 3. So in order to work out the present value, you multiply the discount rate by the future value. In this case is 1,000 times this, which is 909.1. Let's work out 3,000 at that. 3,000 multiplied by 0.8246. 2,473.80. 4,000 times 0.7513. 3,520. 5,000 times 0.6830. 5,000 times 0.75 times 0.6830 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 times 0.75 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 ti 3,450. Okay. Now, what we have actually done is work out the present value of each of these cash flows. That means this is the value of $5,000 4 years from now in today's dollars. Okay, let me this here. All right, let me just verify that I have that one right. 0.82. Oh, 82.8264 multiplied by $3,000. Okay, there's a 9 here. Correct. Okay, beautiful. Now, what we are working out now is this is the present value of all the cash flows. That means, let me reverse the logic now. Suppose I had $3,415 today. If I put that in a bank account at a rate of 10%, after 4 years, I would have $5,000. So this is just the reverse of the logic. By taking today's dollars, say, okay, if I had $3,005.20 today, and I put that in an interest rate at 10%, after 3 years, I would have $4,000. So what we are doing in this example is just trying to find out what is the value of this cash flow in today's dollars. Now, when you're evaluating net present value decisions now, you must put in the cash flow, work out the discount factor you get from the tables, work out your present value, then this is what you have to do next. You want to find now the total present value of cash inflows. Now, total present value of cash inflows in this case here would be 909.10 plus 2479.20 plus 3005.20 plus 3,415. We just got that the present value of this inflow is 9,808.50. Okay. Now, our total present value of cash outflows. Now, this cash outflows means what is the present value of the money that you have invested, meaning that you have spent out. Now, in this case, I told you you make an initial investment of $10,000 at the beginning. That means in today's dollars, we are making 10,000. We are investing 10,000. So the total present value of the cash outflow is your initial investment. Because in this particular example, we only given out one time, which is the 10,000. So you put the 10,000 here. Now, net present value, which is called NPV, net present value equals total present value of cash inflows minus total present value of cash outflows. In this case here, we'll get a negative number. This came to minus 191.50. Now, in an exam question, what we need to do is we need to work this particular table out for each one of the investments. When you work this out for each one of the investments, you work out your total cash inflows minus your total present value of cash outflows. Now, if there's only one cash flow, it will be your initial investment here. When you minus the two, the value with the highest net present value is the one that you choose. So if investment B had $3,000 net present value positive, you would choose that value. Now if your net present value is negative and is negative for all of them, then all of them do not meet your requirement. When the net present value is minus, you're not meeting your 10% requirement. But if, for instance, the example shows, say we have two scenarios, a net present value for A of $500 and a net present value for B for $800, the one with the highest net present value would be the one that you choose. If both of them were negative, then both of them would not meet your requirement of 10%. Yeah? Now you can do the exam questions and follow through with this procedure and work them out. Thank you.